And we back. That sounded like a big old obese breath.
I thought you was talking about mine. I was like, damn, bitch, you.
Oh,
Dang, that was strong. Ouch.
you felt that?
That was strong.
That female dog was strong.
That baby tired.
Okay. Hey guys, we're back. We're live. We're on.
We always live.
Okay. And today we have our, she's the Mary Dawn's cousin, and our creative director, and our designer. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
I'm Cookie.
Of
AKA
what?
Keisha of Cookie's Creative Corner.
And tell the people what Cookie's Creative Corner is.
Cookie's Creative Corner is my LLC. I do event planning, decorating, consulting. You name it, I do it.
Okay. And didn't you provide us with something tonight?
These lovely cups. Hey,
These mason
ladies.
jars.
My beautiful shirts. Ow. Give me a
Oh, cheers.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Okay. And these are the joys of being live. There's no editing, right?
The cups might be too big. I put a lot of alcohol in here, so I can't even say alcohol right. I put a lot of
Spirits, libations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What you call it, Alex? Firewater.
Ow, I like that.
Oh, and y'all remember when somebody called Paris Hilton like a fire crotch? No?
No.
All right, I'm reaching. Anyway,
No.
Miss Ball, how was your week?
My week has been very long.
Okay.
It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday, but I had a funeral this weekend, and going to funerals really make you realize how precious life is, and then like how you just never really know the last moment or how it affects people. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, but we here.
Okay. Did it make you want to reevaluate some things and how you live, and just to know that in those last moments, how final life is, or how final that goodbye is? Let me say that.
You know what it made me think about was how is there a way to properly grieve? And I'm not sure. And I don't think I've dealt with that many deaths in my life, but there are certain ones that I've just never gotten over, and I don't think I ever will. And I don't know if like grieving will help that. So it had my mind thinking about that, because like mental health is a really big thing, and we're growing as people, and I want to make sure that I'm not carrying any type of burdens. So and I want to prepare my kids and things for stuff like that, but I don't even know how to, like, what do you say?
Well, there are 7 stages of grief, and grief has no expiration. And grief also looks different for everybody. So, you have some people who laugh through the pain. You have some people who cry through the pain. You have some people who won't publicly acknowledge the pain. I think what's important is that we don't try to impose how we feel like they should grieve onto others, right? What my grief look like is not necessarily what your grief will look like.
Right.
And everybody processes death differently. So I think it's important to keep those gems in mind when dealing with the death of a loved one or a friend, or just dealing with the death period. Because, I mean, it's a fate we all going to meet, right? Nobody makes it out this world alive. We just hope that when your number is called and your time is up, that people think as highly of you in death as you would like to think they did in life.
Yes, Deaconess.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that, but I have to say I didn't realize a lot of that until like last year. There's somebody that we know that have lost somebody, and lost them years ago, 30 years ago. And it's still really fresh to them. And like maybe like at like year 25 or 26 is when I was like, because at first I used to be like, they're gone. But like the older I got, I'm like, I know what that person meant to you, so I can see how it's still fresh. But I never understood that in the beginning. But do y'all watch Real Housewives of Potomac?
No.
Yes and no. I've seen it a few times.
So there was this episode. So Karen,
Her parents died within like months of each other.
right? And so they went to New Orleans last season, or the one that just passed. And so they went to go visit this slave plantation. And she said that she could like feel the spirits, and it reminded her of death and her parents. So she didn't want to go out that night that the other girls went. And so the other girls were like, okay. But when they got on their phone, they noticed she was on Instagram Live. And in a reunion, they were saying, like, you don't grieve that way. That's not how you grieve. And so when I first heard the initial argument, I was like, well, they right. You don't grieve on Instagram Live. But then, like, the more I think about it and just pay attention to different people and their reactions, then I noticed that, like, people do that shit in their own way. Their own time, their own way. So who are we to say you have to be sitting down crying in order to grieve? I don't think that's fair, but that's like a lesson that I just learned too. So that was a lot. Just
Yeah, it is. I'm too sober for this.
What my week was. That wasn't supposed to be all that. But
You need to
I did. I think that talking it out helps me process things. And so, yeah. How was your week?
Me?
Yes.
My week it's been cool. You know what? It's been trying. So you know how you take 2 steps forward and then life knocks you back. Me and life had to have a real heart to heart. And I saw that we weren't on the same page, but I'm still in a good space. This past weekend was Oxon Hill High School's homecoming.
Whoop, whoop.
And I went to the tailgate. I did not go to the game. I didn't go to the game, and I didn't go to Ocella, but the tailgate was a good time. And everybody out there showed the Dhons a lot of love. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. I wore a baseball cap in hopes of like just being incognito.
Oh,
not,
look at you.
Not
Fancy.
Not Nito for y'all that's thinking you're going to correct my language. Incognito. I just wanted to blend in and have a good time. But people like, hey, yo, what's up with the next show? Like, y'all really be talking some good shit. It's good to see your peers and people you've grown up with and just out there supporting you. So, sometimes we don't always feel the love from our peers, but it was definitely real that night. And side note, to whoever the fuck stole my bottle of Don Julio, you trash.
You a Bama.
Because I was sharing it. So you could have just asked me for a cup.
Bama.
You telling your age.
Go back 30
But nonetheless, the week has been good to me. It's going to continue to be good to me because my outlook is different.
So, time out. You was talking about ball caps in Oxon Hill. Come on, let's get into
I
what
do.
you got on.
I have on a Lot B cap from Life Outside the Box. It's from my good friend, I'll just say Mr. Rogers because I don't know if I can drop his whole government, but you can follow him on Instagram at Life Outside the Box. We'll put it up on our page. Check out this custom baseball cap.
Ew.
Make sure you get them angles.
Okay. And he is from the Hill.
He is definitely from the Hill. I've known him since I was in the 7th grade. This is his second clothing line.
Okay.
The first one was called Consciously Sedated, and I've had the pleasure of having a couple of those shirts. So just know, like I said in on one of my posts, when Jeezy said I put on for my city, I wear y'all stuff.
Come on, nigga.
Yeah. I do. Tricky T, no. Not today, man.
Not today.
Not today.
Not embarrassing.
Okay.
Well, we speaking about businesses, and I try to wear y'all shit when I see it, but I do wear my boo stuff. I do wear my boo stuff. So if y'all follow me, y'all have definitely seen me in a couple of original cookies creations.
Yes.
All them C's and S's, but
you helped come up with that name.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Well, so you decorated for Everybody's Responsibility.
Yes.
You also helped decorate for my 15-year wedding anniversary. That I want to thank y'all for participating in. Y'all made that.
Say what?
Like, I'm just trying to go to a wedding.
Are the DMs open?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Don't.
maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Maybe that means, get ready. Get that inventory ready.
I better be on the list.
Not invite. You will be decorating.
Oh, okay, that too. Can I party still?
No, you got a job.
You
to
can
do.
you can only party if you did the way you did at the 15-year
You best
ceremony.
believe
But you can't be barking orders like last time. Okay?
Look, I had one job to keep y'all on time, and I failed miserably.
But
I was
you're-
an hour late
And a half. But who keeping count? Go ahead.
and drunk. Like, how can I explain? To
Now
my
you
auntie.
now you telling the business, Keisha.
You are.
Okay.
But I got y'all.
Dang. You did on two wheels. Because she was riding with you, right?
Yes.
And I was driving.
Mm-hmm. On two wheels.
Two wheels.
Yes.
I cut the corner a little sharp.
A little.
I was in the back seat with the seatbelt right.
That's enough for you, Keisha.
How about that?
But since we talking about businesses, actually two announcements. I saw on your, I hope it was today. It might be an old post on Facebook. It's been a year since you have invested in yourself.
Yes.
And Thursday, we are coming up on a year.
We are. It's our birthday eve, you might as well say. Mhm.
Yeah. So October or even this week is really big for us. Black business, Black women in business.
Yes.
So y'all want to talk about it? Y'all ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
Did we talk about your week?
No, we didn't.
I'm
It's okay.
sorry. How was your week?
That was amazing. It's only Tuesday.
Okay.
But you
I
know,
had a
our
good
week goes from
weekend.
Tuesday to Tuesday.
Okay, well, I had a wonderful week. My weekend was amazing. Me and my girls went to Philly. I was drunk. So yesterday, I think I was still drunk maybe because I was still like super excited and happy. But this morning was the crash because I've been dragging all day. But I'm here and I'm good now.
Well, you know, it's a meme that says that liquor hit different after age 25.
Hey, facts.
You find yourself snoozing and all that.
Facts. Needing energy vitamins.
Yeah.
Everything else. I
Yeah.
did all of that.
So, okay, well, a lot has changed for all of us within the last year as far as business goes. Amongst other things. I mean, well, you know, people grow up and you grow out of situations and you become more self-aware. That's the goal of growing up. But we had Pops on here, and I think we were both shocked at, well, at least I was.
I was too.
Okay, you were. So at the fact that he had brought up that within a year, all the work that we have kind of put in to like go from a dark, dim basement to where we was unplugging fish tanks and telling the kids they had to go to bed.
Hello?
Like from Frankie cueing us in for sound bites and different things to now we are in a studio.
Live.
We are on Amazon TV, Roku TV. Our viewership has
Increased tremendously.
I
was at work the other day and I was just like, our thing is like Google us. And when I typed in our names, the first 2 pages is just us. And I'm like, damn, that's that little podcast.
Google me, baby.
But with work came a lot of sacrifice. And we'd be lying if we said it didn't oftentimes come between our friendship. It's been plenty of times where I done stormed out the house, like put her shit on Do Not Disturb for a couple of days. Or she'll put me on Do Not Disturb for a couple of days. But the beauty in that is a year later, people are looking at us and we're not looking at them.
Right.
You know, we've provided several platforms for the community. It's good to see that we can be committed to the friendship and be committed to the business and grow.
That's true. I think it says a lot about women because a lot of times, and granted, like it's a year, but it's been a good year for us. And so it hasn't been that long, but a lot of times the perspective, or I don't know the right word, but people view it as women can't work together.
Right.
And we've even brought you in on a couple of projects, and like even for Enough Sis, you know, me and you wasn't even talking all the way up until that day, and then you came in and delivered with a banner. So I think it goes to show that it depends on the woman, and it depends on, I guess, where she is in life, and as far as who not who she gonna take with her, but like how to proceed. You know, I think that as women, we know each other and we know when, okay, I need a break or whatever, but the end goal is for all of us to win. You know what I mean? It's 1,000 podcasts, but that never stopped us. It's 1,000 event planners, but that never stopped you. You know what I'm saying? So the goal is to get over our fear and to pursue our passion. And we've done that, and we've been lucky enough to do that together. So, but with that, your photo shoot, that was intentionally supposed to be for you, for your birthday. But when I had told you, you was even like, no, I want this to be a community thing. Like, let's include everybody. Let's show sisterhood and all that. And so people will see the middle fingers and they'll see the cups. Or shit, you may have even been a victim of the pull-up. But... But, you know, we still can make this work. You know, we still have friendship. We still have business goals. It's all about community instead of competition. So with that, like, what do you think the biggest hardship was pursuing, even with your writing, like pursuing business as a woman within the last year? Because I'm sure you've been working on that for a while. What has been the biggest hardship for you?
People have always seen me as a good time, right? They see me as like, oh, you know, Carmen good for a read. And for those of y'all who don't know what a read is, it's basically when you put someone in their place. But people don't know the other talents and the other hats that I wear. So when I've been able to showcase my work, it's like, oh, you did that? How you know about that? And I tell people all the time, like, don't let this smooth taste fool you. It's definitely more to me than a red cup and a big butt, right? You know, bars.
Yes.
But no, seriously,
like
it's more to me than just what you see on the outside. I've had my hand in several projects. I have provided some ghostwriting for people that you would never know that I was behind that. So the hardest thing was getting out of my own way and saying, like, that's me right there. I am a part of that, or I am that. And then also understanding that with growth came, I had to get out my own way. And I had to break out of that box. And I had to really understand what and who I was as a person. Like, I'm a gem. And I know that. But I also know I'm not going to be around for a while. So while I'm here, I need to make the best of that.
You're not going to be around for a while.
Yeah, like, nobody's here forever.
Okay.
Forever. Not say for a while. Say forever.
Yeah, it's like you was
For
taking
hour
a
and
break
a-
or something. Okay.
No. Like, I know what I possess. And now it's time for the world to know that. You know, when people see me, they're like, oh, yeah, you know, you be talking that good shit. But I'm writing that good shit, too, right? And it's time for the world to pay me as I've paid them. And then as far as you and I, or just continuing to want to grow with this podcast, it was a challenge because we became friends so young. We became friends as children. And then we grew into adults. But with adulthood came something so different. You know, we are two unique individuals who, you know, you're married with children. I am not. So the responsibilities look different on both ends. So whereas there have been times where I've had to compromise for you, and I might not understand, like, oh, I don't really know why she can't, but then there's been times where you've had to compromise for me, and it's like, oh, well, nigga, you don't. A lot of times we get caught up in the pointing of the finger of wanting to feel like I'm more responsible than you. But that's not the case. Everybody's role and responsibility is different. And if we're going to continue to grow in business and to grow in life, you have to understand that.
Okay. Cookie? What has been the biggest hardship for you as a solo entrepreneur within the last year?
I think in the beginning it was more so believing in myself. I was more of a
back up.
fly-by person. Somebody needed me, boom, I'm there. It's nothing. I know how to hustle. So it's, hey, if I needed money,
That's
knew
good.
what I needed to do to get that money at that moment. It was never a longevity thing. Oh, let me start this business and grow from here. It was, okay, I need money now. This is my goal. I want to do this and this and this and this. I know how to get money right now. And that's how I kind of function and I kind of move. And I've never been in a space where I had to lack because I always had things to fall back on. I didn't sold sex toys.
Girl, I thought you was about to
Say I sold sex.
I ain't sold no ass. That's one thing I have not sold.
How can we beat that out?
No, I've never sold no ass. But I've sold sex toys, insurance. I've done everything under the sun to make $1. I mean,
doorbells.
Yeah, doorbells. I mean, I've jailbroke weed. I've done everything.
You did what?
Weed.
Well, you not weed, the video game where you can put.
Weed.
I was about to say you on the wrong show.
No.
You should have been with
Don't do drugs.
a taste of.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's just I knew how to make. I had the talents that's within me. I knew how to make $1 if backed up against the wall. I would never lack because I was not in a space where I can just rely on people. So it's just I had to make it happen, and that's what I do. And when y'all two push me, it was just like, no, I like being behind the scenes. Y'all need me, boom, I'll do it. I ain't doing it for the money unless I absolutely need it. At the time, it didn't feel like I needed it, so it wasn't a need. Y'all need me to do something? Okay, I'll do it for free. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I downplay myself or it was just a humbling thing. We're giving back, and then I feel like in my giving back, I never lack. So I feel like the more I give back and I help, that God comes through for me. So I don't complain. I don't need to be a millionaire.
Speaking of come through, I don't mean to cut you off, but you recently did the labels for a fellow clipper.
Thank you for the referral. Yes.
We not gonna do that. But I say that to say I remember if this was even like a year ago, it would have been like, I don't know. But it's a good feeling to know that that's my friend. Those are her labels. That's her design.
But even she'll tell you, up until the time my printer will show her, and the candles are KH Naturals, KO. They're wonderful candles. I bought one myself. I don't even light them. I just bought it to put on my mantle to support. Because she's a very nice lady. To not known this lady and to have met her, and it's just like, we act like we've known each other for years. Okay, I'll call you.
Well, that's how we are from the Hill.
Oh, okay. Oxon Hill come through. But
And I literally know her.
From Capitol Heights. But she.
This not y'all show.
But like it's just amazing how that works. And up until the moment, I was like, oh my God, I don't like this. I was stressing because I can be such a perfectionist that I'm like, no, this looks a mess. I don't like this. Blah blah blah. Then I was like, I even told her. I was like, look, I did this. I don't like it. So she was like, well, I trust you. Go ahead and do it. And I'm like, how you trust me? You don't know me. I came up with something and she absolutely loved it. And I'm like, to me, it was basic. It was so mediocre, but she loved it. And then when I seen it, when she posted, I was like, wow.
Yeah, it does look good together.
Nice.
It looks very good.
Yes, but that was on a fly-by whim. That
it looked like some Bath and Body Works.
It was not supposed to look like that at all. And it was just like on a whim, like the night before, up in my bed with my laptop, just coming up with something because I hated what I was presenting to her, but I felt like I didn't want to let her down because she came to me off of you, the strength of you. So I'm like, oh no, I got to come through off the strength of Carmen. Like, so I was like wrecking my brain, didn't know what to do.
And look at that.
And it came through that next month. She, oh my God, I absolutely love it. I'm like, really? She loved it. So, and she's been coming through for me. I mean, weekly. Like, she'll call me on the whim, and I'll be like, okay, I can have it to you in the morning. I can have it to you tonight. I can have it to you in 2 days.
So do you think that you went into business because you felt like you was backed up in a corner because of finances?
No, I just was tired of y'all bugging me, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's the funny part.
Now, who is y'all?
My doula here.
Oh, okay. So her.
Yeah, her.
Okay.
You too, when we have events, you be like, walk in your purpose. Walk in your purpose. That's you.
Because you're good for downplaying what your capability.
I guess. I didn't look at it as this being my stream of business because it was fun for me. I didn't want it to not be fun. That was my thing. That was fun for me. So I feel like sometimes when you turn your fun into business, it becomes no longer fun for you. And I didn't want to lose that.
Well, they say the old saying is when you do what you love, it don't feel like work.
Yeah, that's why I never understood that with her.
It can be vice versa. Like, because I love cooking. And when I went to cooking school and having to do everything, it was like, but I love cooking.
You
So
still
now-
cooking? Because I love eating.
I love cooking, honey. I cook, but I don't know if I cook well.
And
Okay.
speaking of cooking for Dawn After Dark, we're signing you up for spinach dip, but don't worry about that.
Jesus.
But so anyway, so with that, like, shit, I lost my train of thought.
And that's why we have an outline.
Because you know what? This cup is way too big.
You wanted a cup, I delivered.
You did deliver. Okay, well, what's your definition of success?
I think my definition of success is not so much measured by money, but it kind of comes within.
Okay.
If you feel in your mind or in your heart that I'm successful, I'm the best me I can be, you know, I'm striving, I'm doing this, it don't matter what the dollars or the zeros in your account are.
I agree.
You know, because money doesn't make you happy. You see the richest people in the world who are successful are the most unhappy.
That's true.
So are you measuring your success by your level of happiness or how much money you have? And that all depends on you.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is all on happiness. I can have $5 in my pocket, and as long as I'm happy, I'm straight. My bills paid, I'm good. I don't need a whole lot of money. You know, not to say it wouldn't be nice to have. Of course it will be, but I'm just not that person. I've been a person who's had a lot of money, and I've been a person who's not had any money. You know, so I just want happiness at the end of the day. So.
What defines success for you as far as the Dons and Conversations with Carmen? Because it should be, thank you, two different things. Because it's like two different
It is.
entities. Not entities, but two
No,
different.
you're right.
Okay.
So as far
on the
as
dictionary.
come on now, plethora.
Go ahead. Reverse.
As far as the Dons, I can say that I'm glad we made it to a year, at least a year, and a year with events, successful events behind us. And you know, I'm good for if one show, we did it.
So if one show that's successful for you.
It is.
Okay.
It is because I've at least provided the opportunity for more, right? We made our first $1 in February.
That we never framed.
We didn't because you know what, we gave it to
that's
Frankie.
kind of-
We gave it to little Frankie because he
Aw.
dedicated his Sunday.
Oh.
That's probably at Chick-fil-A or something, but
Probably.
Yeah.
But we put the $1 back in the community. God damn it, this cup.
I told you. You didn't even drink that much.
But the Dons, you know, we set out with this in mind to, and I'm gonna try not to get emotional when I say this.
Oh, God.
So no, seriously, I went and made a purchase of some tea, or lemonade rather, from a friend who's no longer with us, Josh, and it had some slush to it, right? So I was like, oh, this is good. Like, I can drink this, no problem. I went over to his house, and we drank it, and we ate the cookie. And I know, and this is when I know that, like, Frankie really got love for me, whether he ever come out and say it. Because we were up to the wee hours of the morning. And all of us had to get up and go to work in the morning. The kids had to go to school. But we were so amazingly elevated.
I like that plug.
So, you know, Josh, you are no longer with us, but we thank you because you are a big part of the reason why we sit here today. So rest up. But
I still have that conversation on a phone. I may post it on our anniversary on Thursday.
we may. And we were so lifted that we called Mo. And she came. And
On the work day?
yeah.
She came?
Yeah, it was like 3 a.m. when we finally left.
I think you're right. Her and Yaya. Yes.
Yes.
You
Yes.
gonna get in trouble. Don't watch this.
That was a year ago. But we've come a long way from sitting at the dining room table, not being able to coordinate when we can meet, not being on the same page. I'm feeling this way. My business partner feeling this way because we had to learn to separate the friendship from the business. And at one point, it even got to the point it was like, I don't even want to do this. Like
You felt like that?
yeah.
I felt like that. I didn't know you felt like that.
I felt like, okay, I'm just gonna go through the motions. Like we got to see this through because there was so many people wanting to see this fail.
Yeah.
So many people wanted to see this fail, and it was
But
like,
did they want
no.
to see this fail or us fail?
Both.
Okay.
They wanted to see the business fail and then see where the break in the friendship came from, right? Because people know it's for a good time.
What satisfaction do people get out of it?
The hate
Saying
be
other people
real.
fail, I just don't understand.
Listen, the
It's
hate
not
be
gonna make
real.
you more successful to see somebody else fail. It just doesn't understand. It's enough money for everybody. It's enough opportunities for everybody. Why does somebody else's failure uplift you or make you feel any kind of way? Like, who cares?
I think that it's when you sitting and not doing anything, I don't want to see you win. This is just me guessing. I don't know, because I don't think I've ever wanted to see anybody fail. Like, I have somebody that I really don't like that is surfacely. Is that a word? Surfacely?
Sure.
Well, you just said it now.
Okay,
Sure.
surfacely succeeding. I would never want to see her fail. Well, maybe that one. But I would never want to see anybody fail, especially, I think that failing in the public eye can really, really, really fuck up or fuck with your emotional state. And I think that we already have so much that we're dealing with as a people. I wouldn't want to see that add and burden on you. I like, honestly, like, shit, now that I think about it, even the person that me and you talking about, I wouldn't want to see that. Like, no names, just a homeless whore. But I wouldn't want to see them fail. I just don't care.
Yeah, I'm about to say, who cares that much?
I don't care. So, but I think it's when you sitting behind, because I saw that at my event that I spoke about. I think that because you were sitting in the audience and not at the head table with the people that I decided to be speakers,
You felt different.
you felt different. You were salty. But I'm the type that I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Claim it. Like, I gave you 5 seconds and she didn't claim it. You don't want it. You know what I mean? So I feel like everybody has to want it. But you have to be genuine about what you want. Like how you said you give because you just want to give. You know it's going to come back. Some people give for $1. It's not going to come back that way. I know that we're in this eventually to monetize, but the things that we've done for the community, we're not looking for $1. We're looking for growth. We want us all to promote and succeed together. And so I think that that's what we're lacking as far as community.
Yeah.
And like, as black people, color folk, like we just, for some reason, we just cannot get into the community. And I hate to plug next week's show, but we talk a lot more about that next week.
We do.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like, I think that you have to love and appreciate yourself in order to love and appreciate someone else. And I think that as a community, we don't know how to love and appreciate ourselves. We've always been told that this is wrong about you, that is wrong about you, that is wrong about you. Like, not even to talk too much, but I know somebody that's close to me that watched the show and they was like, you went on the show with your real hair. I don't like to wear my real hair. Like, my braids are what I use as a filter. But I'm like, it's me. They don't like it, don't watch. But the views say they like it. So, I mean, and for real, it's not even about them. It's about me. But it's just like, this is who I am. And I think that was one of the things that I had to overcome when I decided to pursue different avenues of business. Was I had to move past the different opinions and the things that people try to hold me to, because it's like a lot of people may hold me to a reputation that I had. How long we been out of school?
Almost 20 years.
And half of y'all niggas wrong. Like, y'all guesstimating, but I let that hold me in the box for so long that now I'm starting to live my dream closer to 40 when I could have been doing this shit earlier in the game. Mm-hmm. But
You closer to 40 now? I thought you was in your early 30s.
I am in my early 30s because my birthday ain't come yet.
I'm just saying 35 knocking.
But anyway, you never told us how...
Because the conversation moved in a different direction.
It did. How success is defined with Conversations with Carmen.
Well, my book is on its way out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more comfortable with displaying my writing. I'm in a great space. Let me not even say okay. Let me not even downplay myself. I'm in a very good space. And for anybody who knew my story a year ago, that wasn't my case. And then if we're going to go back to 2017, that definitely wasn't my story. You know, I've taken a lot of L's, a whole lot. And the world has looked at times where it wanted to break me. I let it bend me, but I didn't let it break me. So to be able to rally from some of my hardships that people never knew that I went through, it's a good feeling.
Do you think that you have to let people know your hardships in order to get past them? Both of y'all.
I don't necessarily have to let people know. I can let individuals know to identify and let them know that it's going to be okay. You know, you going to get through it. It's a matter of how you choose to get through it.
You mean you or the people around you?
Me and those around me.
Okay.
It's only really a select few who know what the last 2 years of my life have really looked like, right? You being one of them. There were times where I didn't know if I was coming or going. So to be able to write that on paper now and to not feel like I was just an emotional wreck, that's a good feeling. Yeah.
That you've been able to overcome it. So the writing helped you overcome it.
I had to go back to my roots. 11th grade, Mr. Gillespie, where he told me, just write. You know, that was probably one of my favorite classes at Oxon Hill, my journalism class. He said, just write.
Was that the name of the class?
Journalism.
Okay.
Young teacher.
I didn't. I must ain't take that class.
No. It wasn't for everybody, I'll say that.
Ooh.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Get out your feelings.
It's like an elective, right? Journalism is like an elective, right?
No. It wasn't an elective.
School wasn't my thing, so.
He just was a young teacher who
What
was
race
very...
was he? I'm sorry.
He was Caucasian.
Okay.
Honestly, I couldn't... He looked like he got his clothes out the hamper every morning, right? Like his pants were always wrinkled. His shirt was tucked on one side and untucked on the other. He barely combed his hair, but he was so influential, right? You know, he gave us that creative ability to just write down our thoughts. I remember us taking a field trip to the museum, and I was just in awe. Every newspaper in the world was up.
In high school?
Yes.
Where was that?
Not there.
The museum was open that long?
I want to go there. But they about to close, ain't they?
Hey, I've never been.
I want to go, but I think they about to close.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was
So,
open that many years.
say that many years one more time.
It's 15 plus.
You want to come back, don't you? But no, seriously, Mr. Gillespie really made an imprint in my life as far as being able to just write and illustrate my thoughts. And even Miss Hillian, like I hated her.
I remember her.
In the 9th grade. But she was a strong black woman who believed in being able to put your thoughts on paper and properly put them on paper and make your voice be heard through your reading and through your writing. So I can appreciate those too.
Do you think everybody has a thing for writing? Or do you think that's... Maybe I ain't asked that right. Okay, so see if you can get the question from the scenario. So a lot of different...
Nigga, what is this, Clue?
So a lot of different like podcasts or readings that I indulge in talk about how important journaling is to your mental health or your emotional state or whatever. But I have talked to people that's just like, I just can't do it. Yeah, do you think that's in everybody, that they just need to start, like just write down anything, or like what? Because I'm asking because I've tried to get my son to write. And I don't know if he's too busy now, but in the summer he wasn't that busy. But like he just couldn't get it. And there was this activity, and I can't remember from where, but they was like, if you write for 30 days, just your thoughts for the day, that you will see like what state you're in or what the growth you've made or something like that. And I just could not get him to commit. So I'm thinking like, to me, it's not hard to write down your thoughts. That's easy. Like I write down every day what I'm thankful for. One thing. It ain't got to be Like you're a writer. It doesn't have to be a paragraph, a page, or a book. But do you think that's in everybody, or that everybody should kind of start there to kind of like to use as like a self-reflection tool? Is that making sense?
It is.
Okay. So do you think that?
I think everybody is a author in their own right, and how you choose to, relay your story is on you. So I'm old school, and by that meaning, I still sit down and write before I type anything, because I need to see it on paper. I need to be able to go through, scratch it out, white it out, whatever the case. It's like, coming up in school, and I'm really telling my age. You had your that was too strong. You you have your rough copy that you had to turn into the teacher. The teacher would then edit it, scratch it out, give it back to you. Then you had your second draft, right? You did your second draft based on your first draft revisions. And then boom, okay, so you write that out. And then you turn in your final copy. So for me, the final copy is the copy you're ready to give to the world. But sometimes your rough draft can be what you give to the world. I think people need to not be so hung up on the verbiage. And you might not be the best writer. Just write it. That's what they have editors for. You need to know your audience and who you're speaking to. Everybody doesn't speak, quote unquote, the King's English, right? I'm reading a book right now. The grammar is horrible, but I get the message. And as long as the person gets the message, then I'm okay with that.
That's true.
And see, I'm different. I bought 2 journals. Me and my homegirl, we said, oh, we're going to journal because we've been through some past things in this year. Oh, let's journal our thoughts, to try to release anger, bitterness, all of those things. I bought this pretty journal, has the prettiest affirmation on the front, and it's just been sitting on my dresser. And
but have you tried?
I have tried.
Okay.
It's just I didn't have the words to write. But I do mine through song. Song has shut up, Toya.
Now, wait a minute. Well, by song, do you mean you sing?
Yes. Or the music I listen to. Whatever I'm listening to is how I'm feeling at that moment. And so...
Well, hold on.
You're irritating. Okay.
Keisha, you singing?
What I do in my personal space is my personal business.
Now, Keisha, I done heard...
While I'm cooking.
I done heard you sing before.
On key, off key. It don't matter.
More off than on.
I'll take that. I don't care. But that has helped me through so much, where my emotions have come out of song, and what I listen to, and just tears can come through it, laughter can come through it, everything comes through that song. And it's because I've been doing it for so long, whatever mood I'm feeling in that day, I know how to shape my mood by a song. I know what song to go to, what songs to go to, what playlist to start with, just to get me through, where I'm not sunken in that state. Where I might not can get to a journal. I might be at work and I need to hear some songs in my Bluetooth or something like that to get me through. I always have something. And my go-to used to be gospel, but that hasn't been my thing this year. It's been through so much more to bring my happiness. And it has gotten me through, like seriously, where I'm shocked what I went through in the beginning and where I am now, and to say that I'm really the space that I'm really in, not just the facade. Like, I've never felt like this ever in my life, and it's amazing how much joy and peace and happiness I have within myself, not with people being around. I like people. I'm coming to find out I don't like people as much as I thought I did, but I'm just so okay with myself that I literally go around doing my day humming and just like kind of like on TV you see the sound effects of people's inner thoughts. I literally find myself doing that. People be asking me like, "You all right? Why are you so happy?"
So I have a question about that, because I think it was the show that we had, Lost Souls, with Shane and Frankie. Do you think that you have to go through something, not just you, but just people, period? Do you think that people have to go through something traumatic or something that shakes up their life in order to really appreciate them, or to find their own value within themselves?
I do and I don't. I think it's all based on where you are in your life, because I've experienced the same situation once before in my life. It didn't have the same effect on me.
Okay.
But it's not to be funny, but it's almost like I didn't get what I needed to get the first time, so I had to run it back. You know what I'm saying? Not to That's probably not the case, but that's what it feels like. And it's like a aha, oh, I got it. Where I feel like I won't have to go through this again because I got something that I didn't have before. That extra piece that I was missing in the puzzle of my life. And so it's just like, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't feel like, I think we choose our traumatic past because of how we receive the message when it's delivered to us. I think it's subtly given to us, and if we don't get it, it's like a boom sometimes. Or everybody doesn't get the boom. Some people get it in a soft way, and some people have to get it where they lose everything to start from ground zero. Some people can still have everything and get what they need to get. Everybody's, destiny is written different. And, so I don't know if it's written like that or if we choose it because of how we go about dealing with the situation.
Okay. So we not at our time, but we're close to it. So I think that a lot of these questions will actually be really good for Dawn After Dark. Pajama Jammy Jam edition that we haven't. So more details will come up about that. And then also really quick to plug us in, we're also having Once Upon a Dawn. So just make sure that y'all following us to hear more about what that is about. But really quick before we get into the hall pass, the Ask the Dawn, the messy shit, do you feel like you have anything to prove to yourself and to your supporting team?
To myself, absolutely. And I'm better than working a 9 to 5 or 6 to 10. To others around me, absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, I go in the ground by myself. I need to know and feel that I lived up to my best potential. And I need to know that I did that with or without the help of others.
Okay. Cookie?
What's the question again?
Do you have something to prove to yourself and to your supporting team?
To my supporting team, the people who have my back, who have been with me, or just people watching?
Me, nigga.
I do feel like, yes, ma'am, deep bro. But I do. I feel like not as heavily as I used to. I felt like if I failed in a way, I would be disappointing everyone. I don't feel it to that aspect, but I do feel like I feel like...
You said if you fail, you're disappointing?
I'm disappointing everyone. It wasn't necessarily about disappointing myself.
What's failure?
Like not succeeding. Everybody's, say a career or relationship or something failing, you losing something, anything. I felt like I didn't want to let anybody down. Now I don't care, but I feel like I do owe it to you guys. Because if you're my cheerleader in my corner and I'm not giving 100% of me, and you taking the extra effort and backing me, yeah, I do feel like I owe you something.
Okay.
You're in my corner. Other people, I could care less. But my support system, yeah, I absolutely do feel like I owe that to you to be the best version of myself.
What about you? Do you owe what do you have to prove to yourself?
I don't have anything to prove to myself.
Come on, okay.
I'm just living my life the way I feel when I wake up. I live one day at a time because I know life's not promised. I know the next day is not promised. I might not be here 6 years from now. I'm going to be the best version of myself when I wake up. I might not feel like doing it on that day, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to be the best me. Whether I'm dragging it or I'm happy, I'm just going to be the best version of myself that day, one day at a time. That's where I am right now.
So is it safe to say that the shirt you're having now is your mantra? I am a manifestation, as I said, the life of my dreams. Is that where you are? Okay.
I was like, that's that Crown Royal because she over there.
I'm sitting on the end.
You got it. My
you know what I'm saying?
Let me stretch
hey,
it out.
it's food for fall.
It definitely is, and they loving us. Hey,
it's always my season. Let me tell you something. Some of the best you gonna ever have is up under this warmer. Okay?
Yeah, when you get
don't get it twisted.
You never go back.
Don't get it twisted.
That's
okay?
so funny because somebody watching that one.
You funny, but I mean,
okay.
You, Miss Ball.
Do I have anything to prove to myself and my supporting team? Yes.
I'm so interested to hear this. Go.
Well, I think that my support system has seen what I can do, or the beginning of what I can do, and I think that I'm only here because of them. I'm only here because of the call outs, because of somebody righting my wrong, or whatever. So I do feel like that I have to prove something to them, to show them that their faith or their deposits or what they put into me wasn't in vain. Do I have something to prove to myself? I'm not sure yet. I'm in a space right now where I'm trying I'm still trying to figure me out. And the closer I get to this mid-30, I don't know, I had to ride here in silence. I don't know. I'm just in a weird space that I know something is either right, wrong, or missing. I'm not sure. But I'm sure I owe me something. I just don't know what it is yet.
Do you think that weird space has anything to do with your birthday coming up?
Honestly, I think the weird space has to do with me trying to discern why certain people or things want to talk or deal with me. I think that's it. I want to go into 30. Well, yeah, I can't say it's because of my birthday. I want to go into 35 with a clean slate. I want to definitely make sure that I'm better than what I was at 34, was at 33. And I think 33 and 34 were some decent years. But I'm in this space now where, for some reason, I just cannot figure out people's authenticity.
Come through syllables.
It was our special drink, but I can't figure it out. And
Do you feel like that's your duty to figure that out?
yeah, I have to protect my space. I've left the gates open too long.
So rather than you questioning them, why don't you question yourself about why you want to keep them in your space?
I am.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both, but I can't figure it out yet.
Okay.
So,
Well,
let's hurry up and get into Brian. You tell them to put up the time. You want to do hall pass or ask the Dawn till we figure out how much time we got?
I'm with all the messy shit.
Okay. Well, let's go with hall pass because I can see that. Okay. So, no, let's go with ask the Dawn.
Okay.
Because, this is so funny. I was thinking about this today. Somebody said something to me about this. And I felt like the way they came at me was not genuine. It was more so of a, let me see how strong their friendship is. But it's from a person that I thought was a decent friend.
To you.
Yes. So...
Well, you done said it now, so go ahead and say it.
Okay, so it was when I saw this question, I was like, damn, I wanted to ask her that in private. But put it back up, please. Okay, so how do you tune out the world and its negativity about, so I'm going to ask this towards you about our show, because we have been very open and vulnerable about ourselves. There have been episodes where we have spoken, what I felt like you have spoken about what people would say. Mm-hmm. And, me and you have had side conversations where it's like, people going, I got to decide where I'm going to pull and where I'm going to. So people, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Possibly.
Some of the conversation that we had on the way to Kitchen Cray. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, they'll root for you.
But not for you.
Yes. So how do you tune that out? Or how does that affect our business and our friendship as far as the show goes, as far as everything goes? And do you ever regret being vulnerable?
I don't regret being vulnerable because I feel like people need to know that I'm human. Right, people and I say this early in the show. People just look to me for the jokes, but people need to know that I feel, I hurt, contrary to one's belief, I cry. You know, I feel those feelings. The only thing I would say to that is, a year later, this is a testament to what the friendship looks like. You know, if you feel like you want to question me, you can ask me. But you know, it's a little different to sit on this side of the mic and be able to be honest with yourself and your friend, because people don't value the word friend and they don't value friendships. So they look for those loopholes to say, oh, you know, I don't really know if y'all should be doing this because, you know, I see how she looked at you when you said a certain thing, or she rolled her eyes when you said this. Oh, I done heard all that. It's different. It's different when you can see, right? So, I mean, I just say that to say, if you've never had a real riff with your friend, not saying that in your friendships you should look for the riff or you should look for things that would separate you. But if you ain't never had a real heart-to-heart with your friend, like, yeah, that's it. Like, I ain't really fucking with that shit you did. How honest are you being?
Now, I definitely agree with that, because I've been in some friendships where I couldn't be as honest with people, and they watching me today.
Hey, y'all.
But Keisha, so as an entrepreneur, how do you deal with negative feedback? And I don't think you have gotten any, but how would you?
At this point in my life, I don't think I care.
Okay.
If I can take something from it and it's really a need for improvement for myself, of course I'll take the tidbit. But if I just feel like, you can kind of feel people's, the avenue that they're coming from. If they're just a negative person, then, I mean, you don't matter. And I'll keep going on in your face and smiling in your face knowing that you're rooting against me.
So quick question, because we got to wrap up. But so like we've talked about black businesses, and we've talked about black businesses, and like online somebody will post a negative comment. Tell me how you would deal with that. Let's say you at 1,000 followers, 5,000 followers, or whatever, and somebody posts Keisha gave me a half-ass job, which she don't, but let's just say that. How would you approach that?
Well, I think because I'm so big on customer service and giving the service that I want to receive myself, I would apologize that you feel that way or whatever else, even if I know it's bogus. I wouldn't blurt out and like, F you, don't support me then. Nah, that's not, you're not getting that kind of energy from me. I apologize, you know, if it's something I can do to try to correct how you feel, whatever, to make them appease them. Half the time they don't want nothing. But if I can
So what if they say, do my shirt over again?
I'll do it. I probably would do it.
Really? Okay.
Do you have time to was it asked to Don, or what was it, the whole pass?
No, we don't have time.
Okay, well, that's our time.
Y'all got to catch us at Dawn After Dark. But for all your event planning, for all your T-shirts, for all your drinking mugs, what else you make?
Custom centerpieces.
Signs, centerpieces, all of that. Go follow.
Cookies.
You got it. Carmen's gonna make you spell
I
it.
gotta spell the whole
The
thing
whole
out.
thing. Go,
Oh my
because
God.
that's all the time we got.
Cookies Creative Corner LLC is COOKIESCORNER.
The E wasn't that early. We'll post it on our page. We'll post it on our page.
Creative.
Happy birthday to both of us.
It's your birthday too?
No, nigga, the
Oh.
business.
It's businessversary.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary to the Dhons and to Cookies Creative Corner. Whatever y'all want to do, go do it. What's y'all final thoughts?
It's always peace in your chaos.
All right.
Just live your best life.
I'm living my best life. And we out, Alex. Happy birthday.
That's not.